Welcome back. Thank you for choosing us this particular evening. It is a Tuesday and we are back as a young climber to profile another great individual in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Today, joining me is of course Chartered Financial Manager Ntokozo Mngadi, joining us to talk about, her life as a Chartered Financial Manager and of course a digital creator. How she got there, she has a very inspirational story because she started from the bottom. Now she is here. Ntokozo, welcome to Young Climber.
Thank you so much. I think I got lost in your introduction. Thank you so much for having me.
One story, the story that you have is one that touches so many people because I myself was in hostel, at some point in my life. And that is where I can say most of your life was made up because, starting from grade 5 Bose hostel all the way to high school.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk about that experience and how it has shaped or influenced the person that you are today?
Thank you so much. I think in terms of hostel, I went to hostel in grade 5. It was. It wasn't as good. I'm not going to lie and say it was as easy. I think just growing up without your parents close by is also like another thing. Yeah. But I got to understand independence at a very young age. I got to learn resilience. I got to work with people. I think that's also like how my passion for HR came, because I could collaborate with people. I think that's what I learned mostly. Timekeeping also as well, because if you don't keep time, unfortunately, metron begakshaya sort of situation.
Yeah.
So I got that from hostel, and I'm forever grateful for that period of my life.
And there's a challenge that you went through in your life. One would say, maybe in your early primary years, now I'd say, what do you want to be? No one usually says, I want to be in HR, because at that time, we're not clued up about HR and all of that. We just know the mainstream careers. Can you tell us what pursued you what motivated you, into pursuing your current career? And of course, given that you had challenges in maths and of course physics.
Thank you. Okay, I think I grew up not really knowing what I wanted to do, and I'm going to be very honest. I did know what I was good at, and I think that is very important when you're choosing your career. You need to choose the areas that you excel at. So I knew that, okay, these are my weak points. So figure self-actualization. You need to be self-aware. You know where you're not strong. You know where you're strong. So stop trying to be a 5 where you are a 3, when actually there's a place where you are an 8 and you can be a 10.
Yeah.
So I had to capitalize on the subjects that I liked, the subjects that I was also passionate about. So I fixed obviously 6 of the best subjects and I let the others rest.
Yeah.
I really wasn't good in math growing up, but then it's a subject that is core in every organization and in every institution. So I think I capitalize cool. I'm not even going to lie, on the subjects that I really could do and the subjects that I loved. So yeah, maths, physics, I know. And we were not good friends. We're still not good friends, but I like the money, so
you're working on it.
I'm working on it.
And moving into now your education, because you had to get admission. How did you manage actually to get admission, knowing that Lana Bengtrega and pursuing the career that you did actually get, and you have certificates and certificates and certificates. Can we talk about all of those, where you went to gain some knowledge?
Okay, thank you so much. I went to St. Michael's since grade 5 to Form 5, and then I did Ngangenemvas UNESWA, and I did social sciences. My credits allowed for me to get into social sciences as a stream and social work. Okay. But because besemtolebo A, good the subjects that I really loved, you sell my credits, because you need certain credits. So I made sure that in the credits I excel so much in those courses so that I can at least get in. Everything else, I'm very stubborn when it comes to the things that I want, because for me it's always a matter of I need to push so hard to make sure that at least I get in. When I'm in, I can do anything else. So I think I worked to make sure ukuthi lama quizzes. I asked around, obviously, the people that were in varsity at the time. So how many credits do you actually need to get in? And then social sciences, ngangena ku stream, and there were other options in terms of demographics, in terms of also both statistics, but I knew for a fact Guti, I'm not good in math, and I remember at some point I even had to sub Emma statistics agaye one.
Yeah.
So it's that journey of, don't stop, whatever happens, just don't stop. And then because I had done broad HR, which is social sciences, Bachelor of Arts and Social Sciences in Public Administration and Sociology. And then I did accreditation with the Johannesburg School of Finance because I wanted to do HR, but I didn't want to I easily get bored. I think I should just say that. So I wanted to do the thing that I really love, and the thing that I really love is money. So I had to bridge HR and finance. That's why I started doing these other certificates as a corporate finance institute to make sure that I can beef up my HR with my love for money. Yeah.
It's all about the money.
Yes.
But let's talk about when you first got money, your very first job, and how it set the foundation for the rest of your career.
Thank you. Weirdly, people always think and that's not the thing. I started working in Form 3.
Okay.
Ngasebenza spa, Moneni Spa, Gamanzini. I did that because one, for obviously the financial gain, because I wanted to buy toiletries, being say hostel. I wanted to buy toiletries, if financial situation as a kageni maybe itofuna kututhenga idon, and maybe when I saw also heavenly. So I wanted to supplement or beef up the money that I was getting from home. And then I started working there, and from that experience, because being in cashier, I got to then handle the money. That is when I was like, this is what I want to do. This is when you get to the till and it's December time and you're counting, like 20,000 in a day. There's money to be made. That's when I was like, this is where I'm going. I know I want to work with people, but I also need the money. So yeah, I think that was my first experience of work. And then I obviously worked through JA, Hubo Dupes and other institutions. I volunteered a lot just so I could be employable.
Okay, that's very interesting. At least we know that you're making the money the right way. You weren't tempted in Form 3 because, for some people it could turn out another way. But at the age of 25, you became a chartered financial manager. Such an impressive achievement. Can you talk about some of the key milestones that you have reached in your career, especially this one?
Thank you so much. I studied so hard period when I started working for Inyati Group, and the period just that between that period and the time of my qualification, I set goals, unfortunately or fortunately, for myself in terms of my career. There's milestones for 25, there's milestones for 30. So in terms of that, I had to enroll in these institutions, Johannesburg School of Finance, Corporate Finance Institute, in so many other institutions to make sure that I am in line with what I want to do. I became accredited the first year I started working, which was I was 22 at the time. I was already an accredited trustee. So it means now I can officially handle people's money. And then I went on to do the chartered financial management. I was doing employee benefits in my previous employer's workstation. So being in the employee benefits, and then that's when I also was like, let me just be certified to do this, so that at any point, I don't have a local champion mentality. Everything that I do, I want it to be international. And I think that is one thing that I want people to understand. Just because you're better than the next person in the same region does not make you good enough. Strive for the world. Make sure you are striving for international standard. Unfortunately, the world itself does not accept mediocrity. And we're not going to clap for you twice for the same thing. So you need to continue continuously improve
Change.
yourself. You need to, I said, okay, I'm doing employee benefits and I'm good. Okay, yeah, sengwendile, my policies, sengwendile, I did say I easily get bored.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I need to be certified in this thing so that even when I speak, you can trust that I'm actually, I know what I'm saying. And I think that was my biggest motivation, to say I want to be an excellence in whatever area of field that I'm in. So then I got that Nyalo. I'm doing 2 qualifications and I'm drowning. But yeah, I'm working towards being a global remuneration professional and also being a wealth manager. So
Okay. So
yeah.
what does that entail?
It entails me working on your money, telling you how to invest it, where to invest it, your trust funds, your family trusts, your pension fund, how do you use your pension fund, your salary, how do you make use of that. So it's more financial literacy, and it's more on the part, because remuneration deals also with your pay. So how do we then say, Nyalo, you can get a promotion sort of situation. Yeah. Hence,
I love this so much because, it speaks to the idea of just starting somewhere, and not just somewhere, anywhere.
Anyway.
It doesn't have to.
Right where you are, look up.
It doesn't have to make you thousands, as long as it's somewhere. But now you've moved as a managing partner at Stratcom. Can you please define the company and what your role there is?
Okay, Stratcom is a solution provider in terms of your digital marketing and AI needs. We partner with brands, and by brands I mean companies, I mean individuals, to take your brand to a different level, to say, okay, Sharp, you have advertised here and there, and you've been doing this for so long. This is a chance, and it goes back to the international part of it. People are not always going to walk in the store. People are working, people are busy, people are stressed out, So we are saying the brands need to be on a digital marketing platform. They need to be, we do content creation, content marketing, we do digital marketing, just using digital technologies to elevate your brand, elevate your visibility. So that is what we do. But in terms of what I do the knocking in the offices, I do the begging, I do the selling of the business, the client relations, obviously. Also, hands-on experience. I was working as baby just not so long ago, like till now. So it's that. That is what I do. It's the groundwork and also this interview. So I do the client relations, the strategic planning. I think
and
that's it.
someone might not understand that's very joke. Sometimes you have to go above and beyond, for your career. But when you return, you also talk about your work as a digital creator, and of course the brands that you've worked with in the Kingdom of Eswatini, and of course outside of the Kingdom of Eswatini, and how you maintain good numbers on social media. But that is only when we return. We return as Young Climber, and sitting with us today is, of course, Ntokozo Mngadi. Now she talks to us as a digital creator, or what they call a brand influencer. You have the numbers on social media, and what I realized is that, hey, you're working with brands that even we don't know, even brands that we don't have. How did you manage to reach that goal, and of course just have presence on social media?
Thank you. Placement, that's the first key. Placement. Place yourself in the places that you'd want to go. So it's very important to place yourself in terms of where you want to go. So I made sure in terms of my social media that I follow people on social media that are in South Africa, that are like the rest of the world. Not only will I learn how they do things, but I'll also have Lama demographics law to say, if I'm in SA, at least I can get a brand sponsorship, because now when they do the data mining in terms of my profile, they can see that, oh, okay, this person has 80% of her followers in South Africa. So let's give her the gig because it's more or less like she's here, and engaging. Numbers, I don't have much. There's people with so many numbers and no campaigns. I think,
but engagement matters the most.
Engagement matters the most. Thank you, because I wanted to get to that point. Guti, my numbers really. If you have 10,000 followers and only 2 people are responding, then you are not. There's no return of that investment for that brand that you're working with. So I think just building that community. I wanted to build a community that first of all I'd learn from, and a community that I'd inspire. The first paid partnership that I had was with Soderberg. It's a wine farm in Cape Town. That was during COVID times. I remember I was doing wine videos Nagusa when we had COVID. So then they said, oh no, we can partner with you. Can you at least work around content in terms of how we can beat the barriers of lockdown and whatnot? How do we continue selling? So the placement is in the sense that now that you're here, what can you give? Everything is based on the solution that you are providing. You can't just create content for the sake of creating content, unless of course you're just a photographer. But it has to be in the solution that you are providing for the people. So every week I was doing wine videos. So it's something that the brand found me already doing. So when I got the partnership, it was more of we align, okay? So when people, because now when it comes to content creation, you can't introduce a concept that I haven't been doing, because then it will show, look, I'm doing this for money, or I'm doing this for whatever reward that you've given me. So I've had so many other brands after that. I'm currently doing a Capfin brand.
The loans.
Yes, I'm currently doing that, and I know I'm behind, so I hope my bosses don't see this. Anyways, but yeah, I've done more Capfin, I've done also Heavenly, I've done Justin. I've done so many other brands in terms of working with them, and Nederberg also was a wine brand that I've worked with. So I think it's the placement to learn. And then it was also in terms of the quality of the content. I did say mediocrity unfortunately doesn't get you anywhere. Make sure. I will even, I'm a difficult person to work with, because I'm always like, hey, make sure, clear that out. I want that. I need things to be prim and proper, because I know the pictures that I want to see. So I know the pictures that I should give out, because I don't want a person looking through my picture, message right, but so I make sure the first thing you do is that statement. Quality.
And I love that you speak so much about your content creation and how it relates to especially South Africans. But now, let's move it back home, because we are still in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Let's talk about how we can make it work this side. What are some of the changes that you think can be made in our content creation space or brand influencing space that would make it more likable and as engaging as we see the other countries doing?
Thank you so much. I think we as Eswatini content creators, first of all, it's collaboration. You're not going to do this thing alone, because first of all, award. That's just the reality.
But do the brands believe in content?
They do. There's so many companies that I know for a fact that in terms of obviously my work, they are starting to grasp it. It's a new concept. So we need to also allow them to grasp it. And the only way something is trust. Sales are based on trust. Partnerships are based on trust. People need to see you working. People need to see you being consistent. You must first believe in it, because I'm not going to throw my money to a person that is also not sure if that thing that they're doing is going to work. So if every day you're waking up and you're pushing your content, it makes the person, the sponsor, the company to say, So we need to first of all make sure our content is prim and proper. Our content is good. Our content is to the level that brands can actually throw into. But outside of good content, solution provision. What are you really saying I am going to do for you as a brand, as MTN, as Standard Bank, as what? What are you offering them besides just your pretty pictures sort of situation? It must be, I love people that work on an impact-based lifestyle. Impact, whatever that you're doing must impact the next person. And if impact, and rightfully so, I'm not also going to do something there's no possibility of growth and whatever. And collaboration, and also just if we hold our hands together to say this is what we do, the brands are going to see it, and the brands are going to put in money to it.
And now we're moving into the internship season for most universities. What advice would you give to interns who are, on the new job market?
Thank you so much. First internship was with SNYC. It was unpaid, and I probably was that only intern that wasn't paid at that point. But not in a bad way. I came late and I needed it, so there was that is all they could offer me.
Okay.
I just want to say, guys, you may have connections, and I may not have that, So your proof of your passion is in your pursuit. If you don't pursue it, it means you are not even passionate about it. I pursued that because I was able to say, even if the internship is unpaid, it's okay. I'm going to learn. And I did learn. The first interviews I did were with SNYC. I went to Wusileng Sasega SNYC. I interviewed Boss Javang Sasega SNYC because I knew what I wanted to do. I did more women empowerment because of that. So I'd say be passionate regardless of imali. Unfortunately, economy ayivumi ukuthi ungaphela ukuya emsebenzini ungabhadaleki. But ungahlali ekhaya. Lokuya kule internship, whether it pays or not, makes you employable.
Yes.
It means the job, my first job, bebathi 2 years experience. I got that job because beseng internile ka SNYC, beseng endile ka job ka junior achievements as a volunteer, beseng endile espa. As a cashier. So you build employability by actually volunteering in these spaces in as much as our generation is quick. We microwave. We think everything is just going to fall on our lap, and it's okay to expect that. The world is yours and the world is your oyster. But there's a labor dimension to your dreams. Yes. There's a part you must plow in. So you're not just going to get things because like sort of situation. So work, whether it pays or not, just do it, because we are done television so whether we are kapatega or whatever, work, it's going to help you in the future. Most of my connections also, because nalogu worker, you build connections, you are collaborating with other people. That's what we call your network. You build so okay, I've seen her around, it's easier. Build those connections. Networking is also on LinkedIn. LinkedIn works. Okay, LinkedIn works. Ngena ede labo HR uyekele ede abamflow ngadi next utabathini. Ede labo HR at the people in your field so that you grow, so that you also know, keep up with the trends in terms of the field that you're in. I think that is what a mouthful, but yeah, that is what I can say.
And now, just before we close off, given that we're in the year 2024 and you are a product of the University of Eswatini, can you talk about some of the changes that you think could be made in terms of the courses that they are offering in this year? Given that there's so many professions, there's so many careers, labantu labadingeka emisebenzini ngathi asibaproduce here in Eswatini.
Thank you so much. That's a very important question. I think we need to move to a point as a country where we upskill people based on what the industry needs. So the industry training is required. Yes. The financial literacy training, the career guidance. We are born. Financial literacy is very important because you get to university, what only allowance of because you feel like, oh my God, it's been a long semester, and trust me, I've done it. And so financial literacy is very important because in the sense that when you get the money, you'll know how to use it, you'll know where to put it. So we need those kind of trainings, trainings that actually make the person a better person. The career guidance. Do people actually know what they're getting themselves into? Or solo grade 5 so you need to be guided on that. They need to also teach entrepreneurship skills. skills. How do you become a leader? How do you become an entrepreneur? Okay, kayini kunengadze, why ungalimi? Because you know it's not rocket science to be successful. When they ema extremes, you know, we need those kind of causes, those kinds of sessions that say this is actually how you start a business. And there's nothing wrong with maybe a business like plumber because you are good velling in a pipe drainage. Do it. How do you monetize? How do you monetize your innate skills? Because you're a public speaker, how can you make money out of it? Singer categorize to be successful, follow this career path. We need to be very realistic and we need to be honest with people.
Yeah.
Because the need is not there. So we need to build people's values based on their contribution to the economy. So I think that's the most important.
And now, as we're wrapping up, any parting words to our young people in the Kingdom of Eswatini?
Yo. And the party, I think in terms of what I use in terms of my life, I don't think I'd have my parting words per se, but I think in terms of my life, I'd say God first, and also nurture yourself to be a person that is willing to learn, lifelong learning. Enough. I thank God for the industry that I'm in because AI namuhla lokukhona kusasa sekunalokunye. So that mentality of wanting to learn all the time and also value. Because you're valuable. So you need to build your value. You need to be the best in what you do. Where you are, you must be the best. The best footballer, the best videographer, the best, presenter. So build those skills, build your value so that you can ultimately contribute, because pay yako is based on your value. If I don't find you valuable, unfortunately, I'm not going to pay you. And there's also the part of strategic relationships. I will not emphasize that enough. You need to build strategic relationships. And relationships is not in the sense of partnering, a sexual relationship or whatever relationship, but I mean strategic relationships. That wealthy person that you know, that CEO, that relationship that you know you're going to learn from. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. Build relationships with the people that are where you want to go. It's going to help you.
All right, a big thank you to you, Ntokozo, for joining us. I wish we had all the time because there's so much to unpack, but unfortunately for today, that is where we ended off. Big thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Alrighty, that was Ntokozo Mngadi. Please do remember to join us every Tuesday from 6:30 all the way to 7, where we share inspirational stories right here on Eswatini TV. But from myself, I'm Tabitha Jamini. It is good night.